Good morning or good afternoon, and thank you for stepping into the Foul Playland. As always, I'm your Foul Player. I say good morning to you because I just woke up at 11:20, maybe. Haven't brushed my teeth, haven't showered. I showered last night, but I wanted to make this story sooner than later, and it's regarding the Bill DeBlasio opposition to the purchase of Steve Cohen, prospectively buying the Mets, basically. I reported this story earlier, and the way I had heard it before, it was more in line as De Blasio just sticking his nose in. Maybe in my from how I took it, it was more like De Blasio was doing that just to maybe give himself a headline, um, and maybe doing some superficial stopping of the sale of the Mets, but just maybe giving it a go ahead after maybe a little bit of a payoff or some backdoor promises by him and Steve Cohen. But apparently, it's not the case. It seems like there's more. This is more of a Bill De Blasio, the mayor of New York City, really trying to stop the Met sale. It's not like him doing it just for the sake of doing it. From a New York Post article that I read yesterday at about 3 in the morning. Um, I think it was. I may have been dreaming, but it was probably either 8 in the morning or 3 in the morning. But they're saying that Bill De Blasio has actually reached out to Rob Manfred and who's the MLB commissioner, um, and voiced some not even complaints. He's just voiced outright opposition to proceeding with the sale of the Mets to Steve Cohen. Um, there was also there's been one source that has been leaking this story out from the city hall or mayor's perspective, and that source initially said that the mayor was just gonna put up light opposition, nothing crazy, just stick his beacon, and then that same source also said that afterwards that basically stating that the mayor was dumb because he was now gonna you know, like really stick his beacon where he shouldn't be and like stopping the sale of the Mets from happening. Um, and now the Post is quoting a source. I'm assuming it's the same one, and it said that a source inside City Hall confirmed to the Post that Bill De Blasio did call Manfred, but said the mayor's message to the MLB commission was very close to what the mayor has been saying publicly. And well, this ain't like that's not the point that I wanted to make. Oh yeah, actually, look, the this is the source saying. Okay, yeah, this is what he said. What this is what the Post article is saying. What the mayor has said publicly and what he has told people inside city government appear to be at odds. And multiple sources have told the Post that the mayor has been pushing the city's lawyers to find the way to halt Cohen's sale by using a clause buried in the city field lease. The dude did like, and this is now the source saying it. So basically, they're saying that the Post is trying to find a way by stopping the sale by using some sort of clause that's within the lease that the team, the Mets, have with the city, and the land that the stadium the Mets play in, City Field, is on, which is property of the city, which is a dump. I mean, like if you guys have who aren't Met fans never been to the City Field area or Corona, that area is straight trash. Like that's like one of the worst looking areas in all New York City, and it's hood as hell too. I've seen dudes getting. The first time I've ever been there, I saw 3 fights in a row, and one guy got his ear cut off. This is straight facts. Like I have witnesses that were there with me. Um, but the area is straight trash. Shout out to Corona. I got people over there 111. But now the source says in the same story, the due diligence line is BS. A source familiar with City Hall told the Post. He's told Major League Baseball he doesn't want Cohen, and he told his law department to find a way to stop it. And that's the gist of what I wanted to get to. There was also something else in the language in the article that was that I want to discuss, but seemingly, I mean, the sale is pretty much a wrap, like, or done with the Mets. With the ownership, I mean, he was supposed to get a certain amount of owners to agree on to the sale. If you guys didn't know already, those owners have already signed off. Everything is a go as of now. You know that the World Series has concluded with the MLB side, and now we're getting opposition from Bill DeBlasio, who's a failed politician, not respected at all in New York by both sides, Democratic or Republican. Black, white, nobody likes Bill de Blasio. He's a yuppie. He's out of state. As out of state as they come. He claims to be Italian. He's not. Or at least fully. His name is not Bill de Blasio. He changed his name from a Jewish name to a Italian sounding name. I'm not Italian either, but they De Blasio is a failed politician who's on his way out his last term, and he's just trying to cock block the sale just for the sake of doing it. I mean, like, I actually don't know what his real intentions are because I didn't know where he was coming from initially. Like I said, a lot of people made it seem like he was just doing it just to do it. Now this seems like more of a personal vendetta. I don't know if he even knows Steve Cohen like that. I mean, like, some people said that maybe he was showing opposition because he wanted to give the make it seem as if he was sticking it to a billionaire. As many of you already know, Steve Cohen is a billionaire 14 times over. But this is a statement from one of the city council members. From this article, and it says Mets fans have been tortured for too long to have this glimmer of hope snatched at the last moment, City Councilman Keith Powers said. The law department should be reviewing this under the rules. If this is a political excursion to make sure one person can't buy a team, that feels out of bounds to me. Oh, and this is what I wanted to discuss, which gives me a little bit of some foresight as to what the motivation behind this stopping of the sale is coming from. On the other side of the debate, and this is from the article, I quote, is the aforementioned well-connected opposition group, which appears to be using language eerily familiar to that of the revolt movement that scuttled the city's development deal with Amazon. Because here in New York, in Long Island City, which is also in Queens, Amazon wanted to set up shop or some offices there. It was going to give a lot of jobs to the city. I mean, I wasn't entirely in tune with the issue. I'm opposed to Amazon on its basis, even though I still buy from there. But it was stopped. I mean, I know AOC had some sort of input into that as well, if I remember correctly. But long story short, the Amazon didn't come to New York. But okay. A key player opposing Cohen is State Senator Jessica Ramos, who was a vocal player in the Amazon fiasco. Sources confirm that Ramos has been in contact with City Hall about the Met sale. Ramos also penned an op-ed in July endorsing the sale of the Mets to the group led by Alex Rodriguez and Jennifer Lopez. A source close to the so-called J-Rod group told the Post that they think de Blasio wants to derail the Cohen deal and also believe he can. They see a glimmer of hope in the mayor's machinations over Citi Field. The glimmer, however, seems very dim. De Blasio can make this ugly. He can even try to stop it, said one lawyer with knowledge of the situation. But he has no real standing, and Cohen will sue him, and Cohen will win. And that's how the article ends. And now my thoughts. I mean, it sucks. I mean, they say that somewhere else in that article, where I must have glossed over that, de Blasio was also enamored with the fact of J Rod and or Alex Rodriguez, J Lo and Alex Rodriguez buying the New York Mets. And maybe he's butthurt that it didn't happen, but I still don't see like why something that's kind of in all essence a done deal, which he at the end of the day really can't stop. And I'll explain and I'll try to go into that a little bit further into this video. But what's his source, his motivation as to why he's doing this? But it's corny as hell. I mean, and for Met fans who have, we personally, I remember, in the last like decade or two, like two prospective sales that were like dashed. One being with Steve Cohen, you know, and it just sucks. I mean, like most Met fans hate our current ownership. Nobody's like pumped up about the Wilpons. We hate the Wilpons. Like I hate the Wilpons. I can't stand Jeff Wilpon. I can't stand his face. I can't stand his teeth. I can't when you hear him talk in the media, he just seems like a pompous prick. But the fact that now this mayor is intervening in the sale of this Mets, which half the team, I mean, half of the city are Met fans and disenfranchised Met fans. I mean, like that just is part of the job. I mean, part of being a fan of this team. And then the other half are Yankee fans. DeBlasio, according to him, is a Red Sox fan. He's probably a fair weather fan. But it just sucks with these political saber rattlings by a guy who's for all intents and purposes, a doofus. We're getting our wishes dashed as Met fans. I mean, Met fans know that Steve Cohen is is very liberal with his money. We know that he's going to put a lot of investments into the team, and is also paying the salaries of I think 900 workers who worked at Citi Field who weren't paid this whole year. I mean, it's going to cost them like $3 million. It's not a lot, but those are people that like you that are closer to you and me than millionaires like DeBlasio or billionaires like Steve Cohen. Like these are regular salt of the earth people who are getting their money held up because Bill DeBlasio is an idiot. What could happen in all this, I mean, and this is an extreme scenario. I think ultimately this sale is going to get consummated and we're going to have a new owner. I mean, hopefully by the end of next month, because this has been very frustrating for myself and other Met fans. But what I think worst case scenario is that De Blasio threatens to take the team elsewhere, like locally, or to play elsewhere, which I didn't think would be a good plan initially. But if you think about it, there's going to be no fans in the stands very likely in the beginning of the year. So I mean, you could put the kibosh on that part. So if you were to play, say in and I don't even know if this is a tangible option. Like if you were to play in the home of the Mets minors in Coney Island, forgot the name of the park, where the Brooklyn Cyclones play. That's an option. I mean, I don't know if it's an option, but if it were presented as an option, that's probably the best minor league ballpark in the country. You have the monument of Coney Island, I guess called like the steeplechase. I think I have a poster of it somewhere in my wall, in my little New York wall. Yeah, show it off where I could. But maybe they could play there, or maybe they could play at the Meadowlands, at Giant Stadium, or anywhere. I don't know. But I mean, if Steve Cohen seems to be a maverick in that sense, if he has to take it there, maybe he should take it there. And like playing in one of these other places probably isn't going to cost them restrictive money. I mean, like maybe it's but it is going to hurt Citi Field. I mean, like and I don't know. I just hope that it doesn't lead to anything else. I doubt, truly doubt. I'm pretty much certain that he's not going to take the team from New York outright. I mean, he still lives in Long Island, and he's a New York fan through and through, or Mets fan through and through, and seemingly he's still a New Yorker through and through. So I mean, like, you hope it doesn't get to that, but you see what these idiots, um, with this long, thinking long, like DeBlasio, or think of these like cutesy ideas like over a cup of coffee, like, what it could lead to. I mean, like, and DeBlasio, I think I made a video of that, or I made a video discussing that, but I drove through City Hall when it was completely inundated by dirty yuppie hippie protesters. And don't think I'm being racist by saying anything in that effect, because these were like white guys, like 95% of them. But that whole City Hall area, which leads to the Brooklyn Bridge, and that's the only reason I was even driving by there, like, because I'm not gonna drive by just to see a show, in New York City traffic. You keep that. But the route that I take to go to the Brooklyn Bridge, um, led to the back of City Hall, the park that's like opposite of the Brooklyn Bridge, and that whole thing was inundated, like, with graffiti, like the court buildings. Um, the most beautiful building we have in New York, which I think is One City Hall Plaza. I don't know, but it's like our only, like, really nice, like, old Roman style, like, building, and it's humongous. Like, it costed it when they made it. It costed, which I think it was in the early 1900s. Back then, it was a $1 billion just to make that one building, and that was like pretty much the city's budget. And they knew that they couldn't do that again. But it's the last of its kind, and they put graffiti on that. Put graffiti on the whole, all the court buildings out there. They took the Indian statues and painted them in black. Like, I mean, like, it's since been fixed somewhat, but it doesn't look the exact same because they had to, like, power wash all that paint off. And these are beautiful buildings. I mean, like, like, if you tear up a Dwayne Reed, I mean, like, it sucks, but that could be rebuilt, like, or that'll remain the same, like, after a couple of bad contractors come through and spend 3 months working on it. But those this stuff that was happening right outside of DeBlasio's residence, or supposed residence, he's not getting gun ho about, but to hinder the sale of the Mets. It's not like, the Mets are going from one gun owner, or like from the Steinbrenner group, to, God knows who. It seems like, like, every Met fan is gun ho about the prospects of Steve Cohen owning this team, and this doofus is stopping it, man. So, if you guys want a peaceful protest, I mean, like, I don't know the exact address, but De Blasio actually lives in Park Slope in Brooklyn. So I mean, maybe Met fans should protest outside of his living quarters. Who knows? Peacefully protest outside of De Blasio's living quarters. But let me know what you guys think. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you come back, subscribe, like, whatever, share. With that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace.